Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex.
And I'm Jay.
And we have some news updates from around the land of smiles for you today, this Thursday, January 2nd. Happy New Year, everybody. And before we begin, please remember to subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out.
It does.
Thank you. Anyways, today we will be talking about some New Year's plans that have gone awry, a deadly hotel fire on Khaosan Road, and a little later, Russia's secret plans to target South Korea and Japan in military operations. Scandalous. But first, we're back in Thailand, where Thailand's New Year road tragedies, where over 200 lives have been lost in 5 days. It's like clockwork, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Thailand's roads have claimed 215 lives just 5 days into the 10 Dangerous Days New Year Road Safety Campaign, with 1,398 accidents and 1,354 injuries recorded from December 27th to the 31st. Motorcycles were involved in nearly 90% of incidents, with speeding, drink driving, and reckless overtaking as leading causes. Highways and local roads saw the most accidents, particularly during late night and evening hours. Young adults aged 20 to 29 were the most affected group. Authorities are responding with checkpoints and enforcement as millions travel home post-celebrations, emphasizing road safety to reduce further tragedies. Happens every year.
Happens every year, man. Unfortunately, I think Thailand calls it the 7 days of...
10 now.
10 days, is it? Yeah. Because most people obviously go for the long holiday. A lot of drink driving, a lot of speeding. It happens every year. And sometimes you just can't, completely eradicate it. They do try to go hard every time, but seems like every year we report the same news.
Yeah, it sucks, man. And I don't know. It's just one of those things. Everybody's celebrating. What's funny to me, the interesting statistic, 90% involved motorbikes. Like they involved the motorbikes. So again, a lot of people get nervous on the back of them, and this statistic does not help that situation at all. But anyways, stay safe out there, everybody.
Stay safe out there, everybody. All right, we're going to move on to our next story, which is some more unfortunate news from around Bangkok, as a hotel fire claims lives of 3 foreign nationals. A fire at Bangkok's Ember Hotel near the popular Khaosan Road killed 3 foreign nationals, including an American and a Brazilian woman, while injuring 7 others, including 5 foreigners. Firefighters arrived quickly and rescued 75 people, but the cause of the blaze remains under investigation. Bangkok's governor ordered the hotel's closure and inspection of its alarm system. The incident adds more concern over Thailand's lax safety regulations in bars and hotels following similar fires in recent months. Authorities are preparing for heightened safety as 1.5 million tourists are expected for New Year celebrations.
Yeah, this was Khaosan Road, obviously one of the old town favorites. Everybody loves going there.
Yeah.
Fortunately, they were able to rescue a lot of people, get them out of there. Unfortunately, tragedy still claimed some lives, but does highlight again, which is something that is attempting to be tackled by the local authorities to make things a bit safer, particularly when it comes to things like fire safety, which is still an issue.
And I would say, guys, like a lot of people traveling for holidays, I understand Thailand is cheap. That's the beauty of it. But don't cheap out to the point where, you get such a extremely small hotel, or you put yourself in a situation where people might be lax on the safety.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's plenty of cheap hotels that you can get that have proper buildings and the way that they're set up. So,
but how do you know though, right? Like, I think that's another thing. Like, people just don't, especially if you're just traveling, you just check the reviews maybe, or you're just looking for a good price point, and then you don't really know
at least
if everything's up to code.
At least have it at the back of your mind, right? Yeah.
An escape plan. I don't know. It's not something you want to. It's not something you want to be thinking about, right? You're on holiday. But anyways, it's tough. All right, well, moving on, we got a classic tale involving a farang and a rideshare guy getting into a spat. Now, a Norwegian tourist was assaulted by a ride-hailing driver in Phuket. That's right. A Norwegian tourist Eagle Christian Anderson was assaulted by a ride-hailing driver in Phuket on December 30th after a disagreement over the destination. The driver reportedly struck Anderson with a sign, causing injuries to his face, temple, and elbows. Anderson, who has over 30 years of taxi driving experience in Norway himself, expressed shock at the incident, contrasting it with the strict standards for drivers in his home country. The victim has filed a police report providing CCTV evidence while authorities investigate the case. The incident has raised concerns about passenger safety and driver conduct in Phuket. That's like a wild, not exactly what you would expect when you're just trying to get to where you're trying to go, but he had brandished a weapon, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, that could be assault with a deadly weapon kind of
I feel
thing.
like taxi drivers are just on edge all day now, aren't they?
What is up with it?
More
Like,
and
I
more
don't know.
now.
Yeah, it does appear that way.
Is it like, is it the communication barrier? Is it the, what is it? Why are they just suddenly getting aggressive and want to beat people up for like a fare?
Yeah, I have no idea. Just getting into a beef with it. I've had my fair share of like altercations, not altercations, but sort of like there's been some miscommunication. We went the wrong way. Somebody took me for a ride, and I was like, just sort of roll my eyes at the situation. But the escalation of violence is uncalled for, I would say, and just a weird. I don't know, man. Again, these are like ride-sharing app too. That's not like actual taxi drivers. Not that we haven't seen this kind of stories with taxi drivers in the past. But yeah, I don't know. Something about the roads just brings out the worst in people. One of the reasons I don't like driving in the first place.
All right. Well, we'll move on to our next story, which takes us to Bangkok Beach, where a fireworks spark has gone ablaze. New Year fireworks gone wrong. A devastating fire broke out at a famous restaurant on Bangkok Beach, believed to have sparked by embers from New Year countdown fireworks. The thatched roof and wooden decorations fueled the flames, causing extensive damage despite firefighters' efforts to control the blaze within 30 minutes. Police and forensic investigators are examining the scene to confirm the cause and take legal action if necessary. The incident highlights safety concerns during festive celebrations. Now, we saw New Year celebrations actually cause quite a few fires around the world.
Yeah.
There was a famous one. Where did it happen? I've just forgot.
Spaced out. I don't know.
There was a really big one that happened. Where was it?
Fireworks? I don't know. You
hold
know,
on.
typically, this is one of those issues, right, where, again, we've seen it happen with Thailand with firework festivals and things like that, where everything is not exactly up to standards, up to snuff. And in this situation, a thatched roof.
Yeah.
It's ready to light up in an instant anyway. So
Yeah, true.
You got to really be careful around that. Fortunately, it was just property damage. But, we need to be smarter about how we celebrate these things, I think.
I think there was one in Hawaii where 3 people were dead.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
See? Well, there you go.
There's reports for Thailand as well. There were a couple of videos that I saw. I mean, it's fireworks, and sometimes it just kind of.
Well, it's one of those things where a lot of, there's plenty of professional setups. Like you go to Central World, stuff like that. There's like real nice fireworks displays. But then there's plenty of people that are just doing it on their own, like on the side, without any, expert supervision. And this is where we get the bad stuff. But,
Also, you don't know if it's working until you light it.
Indeed. Yeah. Start running away. But yeah, be careful, guys. They are still explosives, and they can still catch things on fire. Insanity. All right, on to our next story, which, again, we are still talking about flammable objects, as a tourist was prevented from releasing a sky lantern in Chiang Mai. So a Japanese tourist in Chiang Mai was stopped by a patrol officer after releasing a sky lantern during New Year's celebrations on December 31st. The tourist, upset by the intervention, grabbed the officer's collar, bad move, prompting the officer to knock the lantern from his hand and to prevent a safety hazard. Despite the confrontation, the officer remained calm, explained the safety regulations, and eventually received an apology from the tourist. Praised for his patience and professionalism, the officer's action ensured safety without escalating the situation. A video of the incident shared on TikTok has since drawn significant attention online.
I saw this video, and for the first time, I thought that the police officer should have cuffed him, put him to the ground, and taken him to the jail, and keep him there. dare he react that way? That was infuriating.
Yeah.
Like, look, I'm all for, I get it. Like, sometimes cops go over the line. They're a bit more aggressive. In Thailand, they're extremely patient.
Yeah.
We've seen so many times where, like, foreigners are, like, kicking and trying to punch, and there's, like, a couple of them, like, just kind of trying to calm him down. And even in this situation, he grabbed the police officer's collar. In what country can you just grab the police officer's collar?
I would like to give this guy the benefit of the doubt. Maybe like he was trying to light it and set it off, and then he just thought someone came and like snatched it down. And before he realized it was a police officer he was holding on to.
I don't know, man.
He was in full uniform, so in any case, it was de-escalated.
He mistook New Year's for Halloween or something. I don't know.
I don't know. Like you probably drinking or something like that.
Probably.
So there's
I want to let go of my lantern.
yeah, and the point is, fire safety hazard. And I'm glad
I
they were
hope
on top of it this time.
I hope he's in a world of trouble. I do. I don't wish any bad ill to anyone, but like when you do things like that, man, like you deserve to at least have some sort of consequences.
Sure, we'll slap on the wrist. Public shaming here, so there's something. But no, in any case, don't assault police officers.
Yeah,
I
don't
think
do
that's
it,
just
man.
a fair.
Don't assault
assessment to
anyone
make.
in general.
Wow, sure. Yeah. That's a good.
You see
good
one
advice to live
Alexi,
by.
he's a friendly guy.
I'm
all
going
right?
to. I will not assault back. I promise. Like, wait, no. Did I just invite everybody to beat me up?
Yeah,
Please
pretty
don't.
much. Yeah. All right. Moving on to our next story. Cold weather in Thailand. Thailand is experiencing a mix of cold weather in the north and unfortunately thunderstorms in the south due to a moderate high pressure system and monsoon effects. Mountainous areas are very cold with temperatures as low as 4 degrees Celsius and frost possible in some regions. In contrast, the south faces isolated thunderstorms and high sea waves exceeding 2 meters. Bangkok and central regions are chilly, apparently, with lows of around 21 degrees Celsius. Didn't feel anything. Mariners are advised to exercise caution, particularly in storm-prone areas. Dust levels remain moderate, and precautions are recommended for cold and dry conditions to prevent fire hazards. Have you been feeling chilly?
I mean, when I wake up from my little morning stroll to the office in the mornings, it's been a nice temperature. I'll say that, like a little sweater weatherish, but it does heat up by midday. We'll say that as well.
Winter in Thailand, it gets as good as 21 degrees as of now, apparently, according to the reports. I haven't felt the 21 degrees.
4 degrees up north, though, man. That's cold. That is chilly.
So a couple of weeks back, I took a ride to Doi Intanon up north to Chiang Mai. It was fairly cool, man. It was, I think, 10 degrees by the time we got up there. When we woke up early morning, it was like, I think, 6 to 8 degrees.
Chilly.
Yeah, enough to kind of, when you blow in the air and just smokes, the hot air from your mouth just creates the vapor. It was cool, man. It was nice.
See your breath. Yeah, that's nice.
No AC, nothing, no fan. You're just like under the blankets, like super chilly.
Bundled. Yeah, see, I got to get up north again, man. It's been a while since I've been up there. And
It's just better.
I have not worn a jacket in like 4 or 5 years now. I feel like it's just...
Jackets?
I know.
What?
I miss a little bit of cold
Hoodies?
weather.
What?
I know. I look good in winter clothes, man. That's my...
Dude, everybody looks good in winter clothes.
It's
That's the best part about winter clothes.
You're right.
They take an average person to make them look cool. If you've got the right jacket, one right good jacket, not only can you use it for 10 years, but it's just class.
I'm with you. Winter fashion all
Winter
the way.
fashion.
Unfortunately, we're in Thailand. What are you going to do? All right. Well, anyways, that'll do it for our Thailand section of the news. Now we are on to the rest of the ASEAN region.
All right.
Where our first stop is going to be...
Indonesia.
Indeed. Indonesia has banned iPhone 16 sales and Google Pixel sales.
Oh.
This has been
Google
news.
get some.
Yeah, it's been news over there for a little while, but Indonesia has banned the sales of iPhone 16 and Google Pixel due to the country's TKDN policy, which requires phones to source at least 40% of parts locally. This move has frustrated tech enthusiasts like a Apple fan named as Winston, who previously faced issues using an iPhone bought overseas. While aimed at supporting local industries, critics warn the policy could harm trade relationships and consumer choice. Apple offered to invest $100 million to lift the ban, but Indonesia rejected the proposal, deeming it insufficient compared to investments in neighboring countries. For now, many Indonesians will go without the latest models. Yeah, it's their prerogative.
True. I feel like at
guess,
some point, Apple and Google are both going to be like, you know what? Indonesia, fine.
Yeah. It's also an issue too. People are buying them overseas to bring back, and then they can't use them. So this is all
It's brutal, man.
pretty annoying.
Yeah.
I'd be annoyed if I was an Apple fan, but at the same time, I never buy the latest Apple model anyway, so I'd be safe.
I mean, they went from what, 10 million to 100 million to like.
They're going for $1 billion more than that, or something like that. But the thing is, Indonesia is such a massive market. It's like the biggest in Southeast Asia, and Apple has made big investments in countries like Vietnam and things like that. So they're saying like, hey, why not us as well? It's supposed to be creating these jobs here. So they have a blanket policy. It's supposed to be 40% of the components need to be sourced in Indonesia.
And it's not like they're being unfair. I'm guessing they do that to all businesses.
Right, it's the idea, and just the amount of market share that these companies have over there is just insane.
Yeah.
So
Probably doesn't make
blame
sense
them.
for Apple to have a factory in Vietnam and Indonesia, very close by to each other, fairly close by to each other.
yeah,
But hey, if you want the Indonesians' participation,
yeah, you want their market share. You gotta
Yeah.
give them some jobs. It appears, but yeah. In any case, that's
Jobs
not the
above
only
all.
tech news that we got.
all right, moving forward, we're going to talk about Google and Musk's X missed Malaysia's social media license deadline. Now, we had some problem in Indonesia. Malaysia's new social media licensing rules aimed at combating cybercrime have seen mixed compliance among tech giants. By January the 1st deadline, Google and Elon Musk X, formerly known as Twitter, had not secured licenses, citing concerns over user thresholds and platform classification. X claimed to have only 5.71 million Malaysian users, below the 8 million threshold, while Google is negotiating its compliance. In contrast, Chinese platforms like WeChat and TikTok, along with Telegram, have compiled, and Meta, owner of Facebook and Instagram, is in the process. Malaysia has criticized Meta for slow responses to removing scam-related content, sparking concerns over the licensing's impact on digital innovation.
Yeah, I guess, again, all of these Southeast Asian countries are taking their prerogative to make sure you're playing by their rules if you're going to operate over there. What's interesting to me is to see that the Chinese social media, they apparently were much quicker to comply with these rules than the Western ones.
Yeah.
And that's how you sort of lose the lead, I think, in terms of usership over there. So unclear how this is going to play out, but it seems like the Southeast Asian countries are playing hardball with the tech giants.
Yes, yeah.
Time will tell. Well, anyways, I have a crazy story next. This one's pretty wild, and it's a little unclear exactly what the meaning of it all is, but we're talking about Russia, guys, and we're talking about their secret plans to target Japan and South Korea. Like they haven't started enough stuff already. Leaked Russian military documents reveal detailed plans to target 160 sites in Japan and South Korea, including civilian infrastructure like nuclear plants and industrial facilities. The plans highlight Moscow's concern about threats from U.S. allies in Asia and its eastern borders' vulnerability during conflicts with NATO. The documents also showcase Russia's confidence in its KH-101 missiles, though experts have criticized their accuracy and stealth. Past missions testing Japanese and South Korean air defensives further underscore Russia's strategic focus on the region. The revelations raise concerns about potential war crimes and strained relations, particularly as Russia continues to escalate tensions globally. So these were secret plans that were sort of discovered and brought to light. Kind of makes sense. Russia embroiled in Eastern Europe in a potential conflict with NATO. What does that mean for its eastern borders? So it's kind of like thinking about a two-front conflict, which is, I guess countries want to be prepared for any of the worst-case scenarios. At the same time, not a great look for this to be coming out when you're already involved in some military conflicts with countries that arguably did not deserve it. We'll see. It puts South Korea and Japan on a little bit higher alert for potential stuff.
Yeah.
Damien says, WTF, Russia? Yeah, indeed. I don't know.
Russia.
Who saw that coming? Well.
Yeah, all right. Well, we're going to move on to the Philippines now, where a Philippine critic, Leila de Lima, eyes political comeback. It's all about politics in the Philippines. Leila de Lima, a former Philippine senator and critic of ex-President Rodrigo Duterte's deadly war on drugs, plans to return to politics in 2025 after spending over 6 years in jail on baseless charges. De Lima, who investigated alleged extrajudicial killings under Duterte's regime, was vilified and accused of facilitating drug crimes. Witnesses against her have since recanted, leading to her release in June. Now running with the Mama Yang Liberal Party, she aims to advocate for marginalized communities and seek justice for drug war victims, with as many as 30,000 reported deaths. Duterte faces an ICC investigation into possible crimes against humanity. Speculation surrounds President Marcos Jr., who could decide whether to cooperate with the ICC amid tensions with the Duterte family.
Scandalous. I can't believe this poor woman who went to jail for 6 years on the basis of witness testimony that has since been recanted and found out to not be true.
Brutal.
So all she was doing was trying to investigate what is now well known, the massive extrajudicial killing campaign undertaken by the Duterte administration. People would just there was bounties on people's heads, hey, bring us a drug dealer, you'll get paid, or something like that. These are all allegations, but also very widely documented, and people were just sort of taking out revenge killings or business killings and just sort of dropping some drugs on them. And see, I told you, he was a drug dealer. It was happening a lot. So this lady was putting her neck out to investigate this stuff, paid the price, and is still willing to get back into the battle. So it remains to be seen, will Ferdinand Marcos Jr. actually turn in Duterte, who still has a very large following and a very large support network in the Philippines.
Very much so.
Drama. So
you love Duterte.
No. But we will keep our eyes on that story because it's very fascinating to me to see what the future of Philippine politics will look like.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Those are some of the stories from across Thailand. You can find more stories on thetiger.com or join in the conversation at
ASEANnow.com.
That's Thailand's largest English forum. Did you know that?
I did.
Yeah, for now, we're going to dive into the live chat and see what the people are talking about.
Let's say hi.